All right, Dankey Kang gang. This is another article from the good folks at Unicorn Riot. They are doing some good work in covering Nazi activity in the state of Tennessee. This is an article from April 27th, 2018. So it flew under my radar, ladies and gents. I wish I was around a year ago to cover this when it happened, but it's important to sort of revisit this topic because the conference is happening in 2 days, and we don't have a lot of time to prepare, folks. So, we gotta see what we're signing up for here. So it says Tennessee Homeland Security analyst, violent neo Nazis, not the issue. Oh yeah, these guys, not an issue at all. These violent fucking crazed chuds who want to go around, murder all the Jews, deport all the minorities. Holocaust was a good idea. All those guys. Not the issue at all in Tennessee. Fucking hilarious. So it says Knoxville, Tennessee, emails obtained by Unicorn Riot through public records request show conversations between law enforcement monitoring events concerning the now defunct neo-Nazi Traditionalist Workers Party, or TWP. An email thread we received from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation shows a loose timeline of various events involving Traditional Workers Party in Tennessee. At times, comments made by state Homeland Security analysts appeared to demonstrate a bias against anti-racist protesters, and in support of neo-Nazi groups. Now let's all put our thinking caps on here. And wouldn't that make stuff like this and this make a lot more sense when you connect it with this? It says most of the emails seem to concern a February 17th event at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, where TWP leader and fan of keeping it in the family, Matthew Heimbach, spoke to a group about 24 Nazi Party members and supporters. According to UTK's administration, TWP members booked the event by falsely using the name of a local church on the paperwork to rent the space. Wow, what a bunch of chuds, ladies and gents. Nothing like lying to get your name, uh, to change your name so you can use, a campus to spread your clearly anti-intellectual bullshit. This THS intelligence analyst Misty Phillips noted this, telling her colleagues that TWP had misrepresented their intent during the setup of the reservations. Misrepresented their intent. I mean, they lied. How about you just say they lied? They fucking lied deliberately to get a reservation. Yeah, real light language from THS. Days before the event, Matthew Heimbach posted in the TWP's official chat, whose contents recently leaked, that he was pleased about his interactions with police regarding the event and believed cops would use force against his political opponents. He says, I talked to the cops to UTK today, and they want to avoid any security issues, he wrote. So basically, I think if the Reds act up, they're going to get billy clubbed, so I can't complain. See what I mean? He went up and talked to the cops. Like, they're his buddies. Like, hey, boys, no problems on our end. We respect you, law enforcement officers. We're patriots. And the cops are like, oh, we know. We're on your team. Uh, we just hope these hippie boys get out of line and we can crack them over the head with our clubs. He said Heimbach's prediction of police using force on his opponents ended up coming true when officers violently arrested several clergy at the edge of where they had closed campus in order to provide space for the TWP event. Live stream footage by TWP members and supporters from the UTK campus event also show that the group was escorted on and off campus by a squadron of police from various Tennessee agencies. They have the pigs being their personal escorts and bodyguards on our dime, ladies and gentlemen. Responding to the media inquiries after the 17th, law enforcement officials involved in monitoring the event were asked to estimate how much funds were used for law enforcement on that day. Cheryl Sanders, a major in Tennessee Highway Patrol, estimated $25,355 total cost of law enforcement deployment associated with the Heimbach UTK speaking event. She noted that her figure, quote, includes the hotel and travel expenses for the Chattanooga strike team, who appeared to be added to the plans at the last minute. With attendance of Matthew Heimbach's National Socialism or Death event estimated about 24 people. This means law enforcement spent roughly $1,000 on each Nazi supporter. You see the kind of preferential fucking treatment they get, ladies and gentlemen? Law enforcement spent $1,000 each on these chuds, giving them a personal fucking security service. They don't think they're a threat. Almost a month later, national coverage of TWP's campus event had subsided. Local concerns posed by an uptick in neo-Nazi activity continued to be discussed. According to the situational awareness update shared by Tennessee Law Enforcement Intelligence, an event was scheduled for UTK campus on March 17th, which would consist of a panel discussion about racism. TWP members and other white supremacists began posting online that some of them would show up to disrupt the event, leading state law enforcement to speculate about the possible competing demonstrations of anti-racist and white supremacists. So they're not concerned with these fuckers just showing up and screwing up the event for everybody. They're concerned about, the demonstrations. In the following discussion regarding the potential confrontation, one police analyst seemed to go out of her way to clear the name of the neo-Nazi group. TWP is very good about communicating with the venue in which they plan to attend, wrote Tennessee Homeland Security analyst Misty Phillips. Hey, Misty Phillips, did you forget that these people are fucking Nazi scum? While you go around singing their praises, they're calling for the death of the Jewish people and all of the minorities and all the communists in this country. Apparently forgetting her own recent email advising that TWP had set up their UT speaking event under false pretenses. Phillips' next claim was even more interesting. She went on to say, TWP is typically not the issue, but rather opposing groups. That is just... She says, TWP is typically not the issue, but rather opposing groups. For this event, it appears only a few TWP members are planning to attend. Other than the venue itself, no other group has stated they will be in attendance. Let's see. According to her bio on a website for a police conference, Misty Phillips is an intelligence analyst at the Tennessee Office of Homeland Security and assists local, state, and federal law enforcement with analysis of information for intelligence purposes. So yeah, these guys not a threat, not a threat at all. Traditional Workers' Party. While Phillips' remarks are unsurprising in the context of police intelligence fusion centers focusing on anti-racists while downplaying neo-Nazi violence, her claim seems to fly in the face of widely accepted facts regarding the Traditionalist Workers' Party. The TWP has been connected to stabbings in Sacramento in 2016 and has publicly advocated on behalf of the accused stabber, William Planer, who was a TWP party official for the Western Mountain region. The City of Charlottesville independent third-party review on the events on August 12th also found that TWP was among the groups largely responsible for the violence at Unite the Right. Additionally, just a week before Phillips sent her email claiming TWP typically is not the issue, many TWP members have been prominently featured in the news images showing them beating counter-protest with their fist outside Richard Spencer's March 5th speech at Michigan State University. What's more, on the same day, Misty Phillips' colleagues in Tennessee law enforcement received her email dismissing concerns about the TWP. The group's leader, Matthew Heimbach, was arrested on felony assault charges in Indiana. In a future video, we're going to look at the story of that because it's actually pretty hilarious. Basically, I think he got in a fight because he was fucking his own mother-in-law. something along those lines. It was weird. It was really weird. Leaked Traditionalist Workers' Party Discord chats obtained by Unicorn Riots and published earlier this month also show the group discuss engaging in various acts of violence, and members describe making Molotov cocktails while staying with Richard Spencer at a rental property in Ann Arbor, Michigan in March 2018. So yeah, this group that, stabs people, defends people stabbing people, assaulting people, plotted all the violence at Unite the Right. Yeah, totally, totally not a violent group at all, even while they're making Molotov cocktails. Let's see. Neither Misty Phillips nor her employer, the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security, have responded to our request for comment as of this writing. Read the emails as of yourself below. Let's see. All right, so uh, that's disturbing. Let's look at this Matthew Heimbach thing in a future video because it's a pretty funny story in and of itself. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gents.